Alrighty, good afternoon. I am Corinne Stoll from UCF Center for Distributed Learning, and I would like to welcome you to Assembling and Submitting a Packet for the Jubin Award. This session will consist of a brief review of application requirements for the Chuck D. Jubin Award for Excellence in Online Teaching, as well as a brief walkthrough of the submission process. After that, our presenters will use the remainder of the session to address questions of potential applicants as time allows. I would like to acknowledge the participants on site with us here in the CDL offices in the UCF library, as well as those participating online. For all of our participants, both on site and online, please remember that the CDL webpage for the session will contain more information and resources for you as well. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming today's speakers, Dr. Alicia Janowski and Dr. Amanda Groff.
Hello, I'm Amanda Groff.
And I'm Alicia Janowski.
We are both members of the Chuck Jubin Award Committee. We're the best source, I guess, for the information you're going to need to get your packet submitted. And we're also, coincidentally, both past Chuck Jubin Award winners. So today's agenda, we're just going to go over some more of the eligibility reminders, to make sure everybody's aware of what you need to have acquired before applying for the award, the application requirements themselves, application website, the rubric, and any final thoughts. Okay, so probably the most important thing we do want to start with is what you will get if you win the award. And this year we've kind of changed it up. In previous years it was an iPad that was the award for the winner, but it's been switched to a $1,000 travel award that would be transferred to your department for you to use for things like professional conferences and things like that. And to be honest, you're going to get a pretty cool little banner, actually a badge that will be placed into the winning course that you applied with, which you can actually see here in the lower right-hand screen. And you're going to be invited to share your course and what you did in your course that made it innovative in a short CDL-produced video. And also you're going to be presenting at IDL 6543, the Spring 2020 Showcase. You're going to highlight your course, talk about what made it outstanding and unique amongst the other applicants. Okay, so eligibility. You have to be a full-time faculty member, but you can be of any rank. So this includes lecturers, instructors, tenured earning folk, anybody, as long as you're full-time faculty, can apply for this award. The additional thing is you have to be the original creator of the course. And this is important because a lot of people might share content, or if you've been handed a course, you might receive basically the course canned for you. You can't apply with that course. It has to be something that you've created yourself that you're submitting for this award. Another very important aspect is that you have to have quality designation applied to your course, meaning that you have to have gone through the quality review and received a quality identification for your course, but also you have to have either received high quality or have been in the process of getting the high quality designation applied to your course. And that is going to be basically a deciding factor for how we weed some folks out who move forward in the award process. You have to have that under your belt. Additionally, you have to have taught one online course within the last 3 years and not received the award in the past 3 years as well. So here are just some important dates. Like I said in the previous slide, you have to have had a high quality designation for your course. If you're currently under review for high quality, that's good, but you had to have at least applied for the high quality review by yesterday, September 9th of 2019. Now, this is important, again, because you have to have been, your course has to have been exposed to that process before we can even consider it for the award. The site for application opens on Monday, September the 16th at 8 a.m. and it will close 2 weeks later on September 29th at 11:59 p.m. So that's just something to mark in your calendars. Now, one of the things that when you apply, some of you may have taught various different online courses over the last 3 years, you need to pick one and stick to the one. So pick a class that you think is the most, demonstrates basically how innovative you are, what makes it interesting. You need to be able to highlight those things, something that you are very proud of. So pick that class and you're going to have to stick to it. You can't highlight certain things from different classes you've taught. You can't pick all the best things from different online courses. You have to pick one course and stick with it.
And that makes this class or this award very different from some of the other awards on campus, where, say, the Excellence Teaching Award, you apply as an overall packet of all the awesomeness that is you. TIP awards are similar. This one is very specific to a course.
Because what's going to end up happening is that course will be recognized with the award. So while it is you who has won the award, it's that course specifically that's going to be identified as the award winner, if that makes sense. Now, there are going to be several things that you will be turning in as part of your application package. That includes an instructor narrative and evidence of student engagement, student learning gains, and student satisfaction. Now, those things we're going to cover a little bit more in depth here a little bit later in this presentation, so you have a little bit better understanding of what specifically we mean by those different things. We will also need access to your class. And what will happen is the class that you designate as what you're applying for the award with will be copied into a DEV course that all of the members of the Chuck Joubin Award Committee will have access to review. We're looking at your supplemental information, the narrative, the evidence, but we also get to have a quick look at your course just to see how you've structured it and see how it aligns with the information that you provided us in your different statements. So this is just an application packet template. You're going to find this on our website, and we'll give you that website again just to reiterate a little bit later in the presentation. But this just gives you a general idea and understanding of what it is we're looking for when you go to apply and what you're going to expect when you get to our website. Now, your narrative, it's going to be your primary document. You need to make clear how your online teaching is exemplary. You're going to sell yourself. You have to sell yourself to us. If you've ever applied for a TIP or an Excellence Award, it's very much so in that same vein. What makes you stand out? What makes this class so different, so unique, and so special? You really need to tell us this. You know, it's your chance to really sell your course. You can provide specific evidence as well in the packet. You can include media. So if you do, just make sure that you outline that for us. If you decide to include perhaps a video lecture that you use in your course or a specific kind of assignment that includes media, make sure you direct our attention to that as well, because that's important.
Yeah, so I think what you want to kind of think of it as is, my teaching is awesome because blah, 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 blah. Evidence of my awesomeness in this area is seen. And then you tell us specifically where to go and look. And then I know I'm awesome because, and here's the evidence that you're going to provide about why you're awesome, how you know, and there's learning gains.
So think of it kind of like a roadmap for us, a roadmap of awesomeness, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah, so you tell us where to go to see all the things that you think make your class stand out. Tell us where to go. You can be specific on where to click and where to find certain things. We just need to know how to get there. It's one thing to talk about it, it's another, and we have to go search for it. So it's really great to give us some details in there as well. So your supporting evidence and data, basically you're going to paste data and evidence supporting the value claims in your instructor narrative. So you're going to have to sell yourself, but then also back it up. So you're going to need to provide us some evidence of what it is that you've done to exemplify what it is you talk about in your narrative. Now, if it is impractical to include all data in line with the application document, please prepare and upload the Qualtrics form. You can do one or more supporting files as appropriate for each of the different categories that we include, like student engagement, learning gains, and satisfaction, because we can understand that things can get a bit big. So you are welcome to do that. Instructions for this are on the website, so you can learn more about how to do the Qualtrics upload through the Chuck Joubin Award website. So we're going to talk really quickly about the different types and pieces of evidence that we're talking about, what we're asking for. Because student engagement is pretty self-explanatory. So we're looking for things like active learning activities, interactions between you and your student, between students, and between your students and the course, how they're engaging with the material. You can include samples of their work product, but very importantly, redact student names. This kind of information is sensitive. You can leave a first name but erase a last name if you're trying to show one student talking to another student, but make sure you're giving them some anonymity through that because of FERPA and things like that. But you can show these types of interactions, taking screenshots, and including those as images within your application package. Learning gains. This is an interesting subject area that both myself and Rick Brunson gave an earlier presentation on, which you can again find in the archives on our website. Basically, you're wanting to show what a student learned throughout a semester, what they've gained in their education throughout your class. Probably the most common form of student learning game assessment is pre-tests and post-tests. So seeing what a student knew at the beginning of the semester and what they knew by the end of the semester. Another great method for this is reflective writing. So if you have them do some sort of reflexive kind of statements throughout the semester, those will work as well. Student surveys also fall into this. These are just a few. There's a variety of different ways in which students can, or you can actually assess student learning gains in a course. We'll do questions at the end, yeah. And evidence of student satisfaction are pretty obvious. SPOIs, if you have exceptionally great feedback from students in the SPOI from that particular class that you're submitting, feel free to include them. Surveys in class about their satisfaction, that they really enjoyed the material, that they were able to engage with it. That's also acceptable as evidence of student satisfaction, as well as unsolicited emails and discussion posts. So this is where it gets tricky. You can't reach out to your students and say, hey, I'm applying for this award. Will you write me some sort of support for this? That's not going to count. You want to demonstrate that a student reached out on their own to contact you to let you know that they thought something was exceptional or truly interesting, or they're very satisfied with that particular course that you're supplying.
Okay, so our exciting award website, if you want to go out there, the link is there for you. But if you just Google Zubin Award, you'll find it, even if you spell it wrong, as nobody in this room would ever do. And on there, you will find basically everything we just presented to you, including a link to the application, a link to that template that we showed you for those of you who would find that helpful, in addition to information about what the requirements are and how to get those filled. At this point, the basic ones of quality and high quality are passed. So hopefully you've all already done that. But any other questions that you have are also probably addressed within that website.
And again, the application opens on September 16th and closes on September 29th. So mark your calendars. Now, once we receive all of the applications, we come together as a committee and we will assess and evaluate your course, your submission packet, utilizing a rubric. And this rubric, as you can see here, people who've applied will receive a score. We go through and we evaluate, we take our top 3, etc., and we whittle it down to our winner. This rubric is accessible for you, so if you have questions, you want to kind of see what we're evaluating. Again, it touches on all of the 4 major things that we've brought up today. Your narrative, your evidence of student engagement, of student learning gains, and student satisfaction. So we will base your score on this rubric right here. Do you have any other comments?
As clear as you can make it, the better. I love subheaders or files that have specific labels like, here's my evidence of student engagement.
Agreed.
But always feel free to put it all in context for us, because we don't know. I'm in psychology, Amanda's in anthropology. We may not know what it looks like in a strict math course or something like this, right?
Yeah.
So I would want to be able to understand how this applies and how it is active learning for your particular area.
Yeah. That's a very good point, because we do get everybody from all sorts of different departments applying for this award, and if it's outside of even our college, we're going to need some clarification from you, some details really, and the way in which you organize it is going to make it super helpful for us, because we end up having to go through so many different pages of different award applications that the clearer you can make it for us, the more you're going to make our jobs a bit easier as we go through the process. And that is the end of the presentation. We have a question in the room.
You mentioned that try not to give us any information about the students.
I mean, student names.
Yeah, just
Think of
redact
for-
their
re-
names.
redact their names.
But then, I mean, I had live lectures
Mhm.
where the students' names were just showing up. That's one thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is when I'm giving you access to the course, you can see all the names.
All the student names are removed. It's just literally a shell of your course. We don't see any student data whatsoever. So if you are telling us to go look at a discussion post, we are not going to see it. So you need to take screen captures of the live discussion in your course and put that as part of your application packet, because we cannot see those kinds of interactions in the class because of FERPA. All student information is removed. So we're only seeing the shell of your course.
Similarly,
If I give you access to the course,
because you're not giving us access to your
just-
course,
just-
They're copying
they're
your
going
course.
to copy the course for us. So if you did
I
if you
see.
did like
Yeah.
a web
Like you're a third
conference,
party,
I won't
basically.
see that.
Yeah.
You can't see who was in it and who wasn't. But in your narrative, you could say, I do a web conference every week. This is what I do in
And
that
then include it,
conference.
and then-
Here are the students that are
Yeah.
there. So you can give us that information, but we won't be able to see an example of
Sure.
it per se.
And so that means that you would go into your course that is live or that you have used in the past and take screenshots for us, and you can actually block out the student names in there, but we can see what's happening in
Yes,
the
yes, of
course,
course.
but you remove the student name.
Okay.
So we literally just get a copy shell of your course.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, obviously, if we kind of go down to the evidence of their satisfaction, if they send you an email, you don't need to redact their name from the email.
If
but
they're volunteering that
Correct.
information.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Do we have any other questions? No? That's it?
Yeah. All right. I mean,
All right.
you
Well,
know,
good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
We're excited to see your applications. If you have any questions, just let us know.
yes. So big thank you to our two presenters. And if anyone has any additional questions after this, please feel free to reach out via email. Thank you.